Why would anyone choose to spend 6 weeks away from home? 6 weeks away from family and friends. 6 weeks traveling more than 2,000 miles by bicycle. All to help people you don't even know. This is the story of the 2006 5 Points of Life ride.
In 1997, we had the first 5 Points of Life ride. This will be the 6th one. And the purpose of the ride is to raise awareness of the 5 ways in which people can help save other people's lives. And that's whole blood, apheresis donations, marrow donation, cord cell, and organ and tissue.
Beginning on the steps of the Canadian Parliament building in Ottawa, a core team of 9 riders set out for South Beach, Florida. All have connections to one or more of the 5 Points of Life.
8 years ago, my son Jesse was killed in a car accident over the 4th of July holiday, just a few blocks from our home. And we, after a few days, we determined that he was not going to live. And I asked the doctors and nurses there on the staff at the hospital if Jesse could be an organ donor. And so I found that he could, and he was, and my Jesse saved or enhanced the lives of over 60 people. So I'm very proud of my little hero.
The very first day of the ride, 2 cyclists went missing on their way to the U.S.-Canadian border. The support team spent hours searching for them.
Braden and I are going to jump back and just go back into that North Gower town and just get out and start asking people if they've seen them. You know, I don't know what else to do.
Eventually, the Ontario Provincial Police located the riders. One was at a hospital being treated for dehydration, miles from where he should have been. The journey of the 5 Points of Life riders was anything but easy. It meant long hours of riding, hours of bike maintenance, as well as countless peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Community events held along the way helped energize thousands of people and attracted the media attention essential to spreading the message of the 5 Points of Life.
In 1999, I was fortunate to have received a heart, wonderful heart. I'm so proud of it, and I just feel for me, this is the only way I can contribute and give back what I received, making people aware of organ donation, tissue donation, blood donation, and thereby saving lives like my life was saved.
You may never have heard of Greenville, South Carolina. Home to Furman University, it's a pretty community. It also holds a special place in the history of the 5 Points of Life ride. 15 different events took place in the Greenville area over a 30-hour period. The local blood bank, the Blood Connection, spent weeks preparing for the riders' one-day visit. For Rodney Ford, the only person to participate in every 5 Points of Life ride to date, it was an opportunity to once again talk about the desperate need to get people of color to embrace the 5 Points of Life.
My roommate is the heart recipient, and he tells me, I see him take his medicines every day, and, he's excited about the second chance of life. So, I try to encourage all African Americans and any ethnic minority groups who aren't as aware of how they can save lives, that it can be done.
Nearly 2,000 people were waiting to greet the riders as they arrived at the annual meeting of the American Association of Blood Banks. One last time, the riders would tell their intensely personal stories.
Well, I think the toughest one was one of the Smoky Mountains, where for 3 hours I ground up at 5 miles an hour. Everybody else was either vanned ahead or had made it on their own, and they were all standing at the top of this hill on this day and cheered me on when I arrived. That was my personal highest achievement.
In 2006, the 5 Points of Life ride touched, even saved, literally thousands of lives, thanks to the donor cards signed, blood donated, and those who for the first time learned about the 5 Points of Life, thanks to the attention the riders attracted. The roads the riders traveled were never easy, yet they did it not for money, not for glory, but out of love.